And that's one thing when you're a writer artist, you get to write little kind of breaks and gaps and quiet scenes. And say you've got a 5-issue series to draw, and you know that it's going to get crunchy. Why not set it in the snow? Just putting out. Why not set it in lots of like white backgrounds and stuff like that? That maybe you don't have to do a huge amount in. Why not? Why not have all of the Tarantulas and Prowl scenes in the dark? And that's how you get stuff done. That's the economy of storytelling, yeah. So that's inside baseball. I don't know whether to sort of like what if you got. Have I spoken over you?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean,
you're single. I know that much. That's all. I've been told to say that. No. Does anyone got any cues so we can dole out some A's on your A's? Yeah, sure. You can, if you want, or you can scream if you want. I don't mind.
So this is a question for both of you guys, but like when writing and drawing, do you try and get into the headspace of your characters? And then who's your favorite character to get into the headspace of?
Good questions. It's all about that. Yeah, I think my favorite character is probably Prowl. I think because I find him worryingly easy to write. It's like I seem to. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got to wonder about my relationships. All right. Yeah, you have to try and sort of think. How would I react if I was this, and if I had sort of this kind of weight of this character's history on me? So yeah, you really try and kind of inhabit them as best you can. So I find Prowl easy to write. Springer's kind of hard to write in some ways because he is quite. Like he's obviously flawed and he's done like tricky things and stuff, but he's the closest we have to like a moral center in that story. Like he's the one that's kind of not doing something because of like an ulterior motive necessarily. He's like and those characters are quite hard to kind of pull off. I think even like Verity is like sort of she's doing things because she's conflicted. She thinks she's going to die, and that's why she's sort of like kind of acting out the way she is. So, but yeah, the villains are always more fun to write. And once we kind of figured out what Tarantulas' kind of like voice was, in as much as like where he was coming from and how he would sort of interact with the other characters, he's kind of fun to write too. So yeah, like Prowl is fun. Overlord is fun. And Tarantulas, and yeah, Tidal Wave is maybe the most fun because he's just like the series needed someone to make some jokes. Like it was the Sins of the Wreckers needed like. A literal blue whale. Like he's the most emo, cetacean, going. So he's so those characters were kind of funny, especially because like with Tidal Wave, he's kind of sitting on top of the plot. He's not driving the plot, so you get to kind of have a little bit of fun with him and just sort of write a moany whale. So those are my favorite characters to kind of write. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like people always say. Or artists kind of always say that you're more of an actor, when you're drawing, or I guess even when writing, you kind of have to kind of become that character, for a bit when you're trying to think of like a pose. Well, this is how that character is, and this is his background. This is what he's been through. So how would he react to this certain situation or this line of dialogue? And I guess it can in some ways apply to color, where you kind of try and pull certain moods and certain intensity or lack of, in whatever scene that you're trying to do. As far as favorite character or whatever, mine has always been Optimus Prime because I'm just lame like that. He's in the big red truck and everybody likes him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are my answers.
You did a thing with Springer in Sins of the Wreckers that he like the colors are so muted or whatever, and everyone's so hopeless. And Springer, when he first shows up, and in subsequent appearances, like he's like just really brilliant,
very green.
He's really like life has returned when Springer is on the page. He's symbolizing this sort of like reinvigoration, So that's when it comes to like sort of like acting and the coloring, kind of pushing the direction and the drama of the scene, like it's stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the scene that we colored, kind of that room that he was kept in, where he was. He was kind of very deliberately like, let's make it not green until like there's Springer, and then we'll well, we kind of had that room B greenish, in kind of a hue because that's where he was, and that's kind of where he was brought back to life.
And even like Roadbuster has green on him, and we were like we
were like, let's mute that green.
Save the green, save the green.
Yeah.
Like, save Josh only has one 50-cent pot of green. Left. You got to make those pixels last, So
totally.
Yeah. So that's something when it comes to like and definitely when drawing. I mean, because Josh draws like amazingly well. Like it's kind of Josh, your stuff is so like expressive and like sort of senior-esque sort of, But it's so you're right. You like I bet when you're drawing poses, and definitely when you're drawing expressions, you're pulling that facial expression. When you're drawing it,
totally,
right? Yeah. So it was a lot of fun being Overlord. It was when you sort of like. There's lots of lip smacking going on. So that's an SD card you're never gonna see. So yeah.